give a warm Star Wars Galactic Nights welcome to Warwick Davis.
Here tonight, or it could be just the humidity. Anyway, it's delightful to be here. My name is Warwick Davis, and it's, yes, thank you very much. And it's a great thrill for me to be back here for Galactic Nights once again. It's really a fantastic event. Now, I suspect there may be a few Star Wars fans in the house tonight, am I right? Just a couple of you then, great. Well, then some of you may recognize me as Walt or Weasel from The Phantom Menace. Others may recognize me as Woolyvan from The Force Awakens. Some of you may recognize me as Wheaty Sayubi from Rogue One. There he is, a face only a mother could love. Or perhaps in my brand new cameo in Solo, a Star Wars story. I take it you've seen the film? Yeah, fantastic. But most of you will recognize me as Wicket the Ewok from Return of the Jedi. Few spontaneous art from the crowd. Yeah, not bad, not bad. You know, it's a great thrill for me to be part of the Star Wars universe, both as an actor and a fan, like all of you out here tonight. It's a wonderful, wonderful thrill. And tonight, we're going to hear some very exciting news about the future of Star Wars. Oh yes, are you ready to go inside the galaxy's edge? Yeah. Well, I certainly can't wait to explore the planet of Batuu and all that it has to offer. I'm really excited about it. You know, I was first introduced to Star Wars when I was just 7 years old. I went to the movie theatre and I saw Star Wars A New Hope. And I had a few action figures and I used to immerse myself in that world through those figures. And then when I was 11, I was cast in Return of the Jedi. And I was able to walk on the sets, play on the sets, battle stormtroopers, and imagine the possibilities of a real live Star Wars experience. But then the director said cut, and it was all over. But on Batuu, no one's going to say cut. It's an immersive experience that you can enjoy at your leisure, and I certainly can't wait. Can all of you? Yeah. Now, it's about time we learn from the architects of this brand new world, and to help us do that, please welcome your host, Mr. David Collins. Here he is. Okay. Keep the roll going. It's a long way.
It's a long walk. Warwick, how you doing?
Good evening, Dave. Very well,
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Congratulations on your success in Solo, a Star Wars story. It's so great to see you on one screen.
You know, it was so much fun being part of that film and working with my old friend, Mr. Ron Howard, once again.
That's right.
It's really great to be reunited with him. And, you know, oh, absolutely, thank you. And a lot of people have been spotting my cameo in the movie, but people don't spot the other things that I was involved with. I had lots of involvement with other droids and aliens in the movie. So when you go see it again, see if you can spot the other few things that I did in the film.
Oh, that's a good tip. Well, I will tell you, I was at the premiere in Hollywood, and when I won't give it away for those who haven't seen it, but when you were revealed to be in the movie, everybody cheered.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah.
That's
It's not a Star Wars movie without work.
No, thank you very much. I appreciate it. There's so much love in the room, you know, I'd love to stay here all night, but I've got to get back out into the park, enjoy Galactic Nights, and also set up tonight's big finale. Hope you'll all be there. You're all invited, and I'll see you later. Thanks very much.
Thanks. Galactic Nights, how you doing? Welcome to Inside Galaxy's Edge. My name is David Collins. I'm a sound editor and mixer at Skywalker Sound and a voice actor in the last 4 Star Wars movies. I'm very excited to be here, but just like Warwick and just like you, most importantly, I've been a fan of Star Wars and Disney parks all of my life. And I can't believe that this is happening right now. I can't believe that we have all of these wonderful new films, animated shows, video games, but most importantly, on an unprecedented scale, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is coming to us very, very soon. And tonight, we're going to learn some things about it that we have not heard yet before. You're going to be the first to hear some updates, some really cool updates. I got to go to Imagineering and experience some of these for the first time, and I just thought, oh man, you guys are going to go nuts over this. But you're going to be the first to get some exclusive information about that. You guys ready? All right, let's not waste any time. Please join me in welcoming our Imagineers to the stage. Come on out, you guys. Eric, John, Margaret, Scott, Walt Disney Imagineers. Hey, how you doing? Margaret, good to see you. Scott, Doctor. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak to all of us as Star Wars fans about what you're up to.
Oh, we are so excited to be here. You know, we never lose sight of the fact that we're doing all this work for you guys, the fans. It is, it's kind of that North Star that we keep aligned to, is because we are also fans. So we are excited to be able to, anytime we can share information with the fans first, we're super happy about that.
That's fantastic. Well, I want to get started right away, but first, I thought we'd have you each introduce yourselves and talk about your role in Imagineering.
My name is Eric Baker. I'm the creative director in charge of the thousands of pieces of props and set dressing that are going to bring this world to life.
I'm John Georges, executive producer for Star Wars Galaxy's Edge here at Disney's Hollywood Studios. I'm a 30-year Imagineer, and I actually had an opportunity to work on the original Disney MGM studios before it opened in 1989. So it's so amazing to be back.
My name is Margaret Harrison, and I'm a managing story editor at the Story Development Department at Imagineering. And my job is to develop and pull all the stories together in all our parks, resorts, and cruise lines for the Star Wars portfolio. So it's been a dream job.
That's quite an opener at a party. That's what an incredible job you have. That's amazing.
It is, and you know, it's like I have all these stories to tell. I'm so excited to tell everyone, but I can't just yet.
Well, I'm sure you've got a few for tonight, though.
I definitely do.
Oh, good, good.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm Scott Trowbridge, and I get to work with these amazing people as well as many others around the world to help bring Star Wars to life in our parks and resorts and our cruise lines and basically anywhere we want to invite our guests to step into the world of Star Wars.
Well, why don't we start with an overview of what Galaxy's Edge is all about for maybe those of us in the audience that don't know or haven't heard.
Absolutely. Yeah, so Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is, well, they're the single largest land expansions that we've ever done in the company. We kind of thought, oh, Star Wars, maybe we should do those bigger than anything we've done before. You guys would agree? So the biggest projects we've done like this ever, anywhere, and it is all this opportunity for you guys to live your own Star Wars stories, and not just to be reminded of somebody else's Star Wars story, but to find, discover, explore your Star Wars story on this planet Batuu, this remote frontier outpost somewhere on the edge of wild space. And you know, I kind of think of it like it's a planet that used to be a necessary stopover to reprovision and to refuel. You're exploring the outer rim, but now with the advent of hyperspace, it's not as necessary to stop there. And so this planet kind of fell in its prominence a little bit. It became more of a home to those who didn't want to be in the mainstream, the smugglers or the bounty hunters or the rogue adventurers looking to form up a crew to go on some illicit journey, or maybe even those that just want to avoid the ever-expanding watch of the First Order. It's basically all the interesting people and us.
Perfect for park guests.
Yes,
Yeah.
perfect for park guests. It's the perfect place for us to step off to discover our Star Wars story, whatever that might be, right? Whether it is just exploring this vibrant planet with its street markets and its, you know, the exotic tastes and smells and textures and colors that make up this remote planet, you know, or whether you want to stop and take on some of the delicious galactic treats that are unique to this part of the galaxy, or maybe shop for some things that are only available on this planet, some of the stuff that comes from the hands of the artisans and the craftspeople on this planet, the exclusive stuff that's here. And stuff comes from all over the galaxy because it's a spaceport. As a spaceport, that means there's going to be ships. There's one of them. Anybody recognize that? Yeah. You know, some people say it's just a flying hunk of junk, but I think it has a certain charm to it, you know, as the fastest ship in the galaxy. This is actually one of our big anchor attraction experiences that we've already talked a little bit about. And this gives you the opportunity to you and your flight crew, to literally get behind the controls of the Millennium Falcon and take it on an intergalactic journey. Someone's ready. Someone's ready. But remember, you're really controlling it, so just be gentle. That's all I ask. Just bring it back in one piece. Don't make the Wookiee angry. We'll all be happy with it. But that's not our only big anchor attraction. Our second one is an epic Star Wars experience that puts you right in the middle of an amazing battle between the First Order and the Resistance. Yes. It is the biggest attraction, I think, that we, you know, it's a very ambitious undertaking. But again, it's Star Wars, it should be ambitious. That's right. Yeah. So we're excited about all these things. We're going to share some more details with all of you guys tonight for the first time.
I mean, that already was a lot. I mean, that's a lot of stuff. That's really incredible. There's so much detail there. All of us want to know, I'm sure, because you can see it under construction, right? How many of you try to peek, you know, between the fence or you're looking at it? We're all so curious what's going on back there. How are things going right now in May of 2018 here in Orlando?
It's going rapidly right now, very fast. The team here is working really hard, and if you think it looks amazing from this side of the fence, we get the opportunity to go out and walk those 14 acres all the time, and we just can't get over how big and expansive the land is, just how much is going to be there. I think we have a video that we can share of some of the recent construction progress. Would you like to see?
You want to see it?
So this was some recent drone footage that was captured on site. You can see these rockwork spires kind of soaring into the air above the land. These are really enormous. Down below, some of the construction is on the village of the main village on Batuu itself. But again, just the scope and the reach of this planet is really unprecedented and really exciting. And the team here in Orlando is working incredibly hard to bring it to life. Both the Imagineers and all of our partners. I think they're as excited to build it, you know, so you'll all be able to come and experience soon. Really spectacular.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, I have to say, when I see that, I'm so gobsmacked by the scope and scale of it. And the small army you must have putting that together, and the organization. I mean, I can barely get my taxes done. I can't imagine, no, I'm serious, I can't imagine how much effort and coordination it takes to bring something that huge to life. You know, you must have a huge team working.
Well, the great thing is, when we call somebody and we say, hey, we're calling from Imagineering and we want to talk about Star Wars, there's nobody who doesn't take that call. So that allows us to actually pull in the best people we can possibly find to do this work, whether it's the design work, or the construction work, or to help us develop the technologies, or to do the film production, or the big, giant, epic things that we need to build. You saw how epic that site was. We have to fill that space with epic Star Wars as well. And it's literally all over the globe. So we actually have somewhere around 5,000 people working on the project.
5,000 people.
Yeah. Literally all over the globe, yes.
Wow.
24/7.
24/7 production.
Yes, it really is.
All over the globe. Do you have an example of all over the globe? Like where, for example?
Yeah, sure. I mean, maybe think about is start where all Star Wars production started, and that's in the UK, in London, where we actually, right alongside the film productions that are filming the new movies, we are in production with aspects of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, right? So all the crews, the expert talent that is there to help bring Star Wars to life on the screen is helping us to put the parts of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge that are going to be on the screens into production, because no one does that work better than those folks, whether it's costumes, hair, makeup, special effects, the performers, all that stuff. So we're going really to the best people in the world to bring Star Wars to life, because that's what we think you guys would be wanting us to do.
Of course. I mean, that's so cool. I mean, so they're shooting the films and you're shooting for Galaxy's Edge. They're building, you're building. That's just a wonderful collaboration.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually, in some ways, I wish that in some ways it's actually easier to put Star Wars on screens than it is to bring it to life in the real world.
Right.
Because, while we can do things with special effects in the movies, we don't get to do that in the real world, and we really want Star Wars to become real for everybody. So we're building stuff for reals.
Yeah, that's great. Now, I have to stop you because you said at one point, I don't know if you guys heard this, you said big and epic. There are people around the world building things that are big and epic. I heard you say that.
Yeah, I did.
Now, I, for one, would love to hear an example of big and epic. I don't know if you have something that you can share, maybe?
Yeah, actually, John shared with me a photo this week, actually, that kind of blew me away. A couple of photos, actually, of some work that's happening in Asia,
Okay.
where we have a partner that is capable of doing really big work. John, can we talk about that?
Yeah, we're building AT-ATs, full-size AT-ATs right now.
All right.
So time out. You're building, say that again?
AT-ATs.
As in all-terrain armored transport AT-ATs. Plural, you said AT-ATs. As in more than one?
Yes, in fact, they may be walking in any moment, so you keep an eye out for them.
There they are. Oh, look at that.
I think our team was really inspired by the scope and scale, just how big these things are. And typically when you see them in the movies, it's done as a digital effect. Nobody's ever built these things full size, but we're actually doing it full size.
So you're building full-size, to-scale walkers.
We are.
Right over there.
Yes, we are. And
Wow.
it's no small feat to pull this off, I will say. And speaking of feet, there are a couple of AT-AT feats right now. And tonight we actually wanted to take you inside the attraction for the first time and show you the installation of our actual full-size AT-AT walkers inside our show. Would you like to see that picture? So coming up next. So these are just amazing. We've partnered so closely with Lucasfilm during the development of this entire project. So we've had access to the filmmakers and production designers, so every detail has been realized. And these are going to have battle damage, they'll have signs of where they've been before. But
These are photographs. This isn't concept.
these are photographs. This is not concept art. These are dimensional photographs that were taken last week.
So these are up. And ready to attack.
Yeah, yes, beware at any moment.
Look at that.
No wonder they're so scary.
So they tell you just snap the photo underneath that thing. Wow. That's an incredible amount of detail. I mean, come on.
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah. You have to go up against these?
You do whether you like it or not, or whether you know it or not.
I'm ready. I've been training. I'm ready. Bring it on.
Good job.
Look, you would expect a Star Wars story to have epic scale and epic action, right? And so that's what we're doing. Epic scale, epic action, epic drama, epic story, epic characters.
That's great. And look, I know that this is the most that we've heard about this other attraction to date, but is there anything else that you could possibly tell us about this second epic
As
attraction?
a matter of fact, there is. You already know you're going to hop on board the Millennium Falcon for an adventure of your own. There's another ship in the land, a resistance troop transport. You may have seen some of the artwork that were released earlier on this ship, but tonight we're actually going to share some additional details. Here's some of the art that was released online. This is a full-size resistance troop transport that will invite you on board to live your own adventure. We also shared a model of this during the D23 Expo last summer in Anaheim, so you may have gotten a closer look at it. Again, working with Lucasfilm, Doug Chang, the production designers from the movies, this is a brand new ship that we're creating just for the planet Batuu. And it's really reinforcing the fact that this is an active spaceport. There's just not one ship here. There are many ships, and this is the second one that we're talking about today. The model of it is great, but of course all of you could not fit in the scale model. So the task recently has been to scale this up to full size. We have a couple photos here of what this looks like at full size. And again, judging from the finish, it looks like this ship has had a bit of a rough journey to the planet of Batuu. There's a lot of battle damage that's visible there. This next image, you can see just the detailed gun turret laser cannon there.
Yeah,
really, really amazing, epic scale
We might need those.
We're gonna need those.
Not
Yeah,
everything
you
in
will.
this world
You'll
goes
definitely
according
need
to plan.
I mean, I think it's worth saying again that you're building these things for real. I mean, that ship was actually there in full dimension. You could walk around and see it. And we actually, just like a Falcon, get to go on board on that actual physical ship and have an adventure.
And what could possibly go wrong?
Yeah, what could possibly
It's Star Wars after all.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's a big galaxy. We have places to go, right? Batuu is a great stepping off point, but there's so many Star Wars stories and adventures to be had that we wanted to actually be able to go to those places and have those experiences.
Oh, that's really exciting. That's really exciting. And so you've talked about a crew in Asia building those massive ships, and of course the film crew in the UK. Margaret, I see you smiling, rooting over there. Do you have some other impression stories you want
Yes,
to tell?
definitely. There is a very special character that we would like to reveal for the first time that is coming to our land and being part of our story. And he actually had a very minor role in the films, but all of you have raised him up into superstardom. And we'd like to introduce to you a character that we haven't mentioned before in our land. And do we have any 9-Num characters, fans here?
I know. Oh, that's great.
So we're very, very excited to have 9-Num, and I don't know how many of you know, but the original voice actor for 9-Num, when they were shooting Return of the Jedi, he was actually a graduate student from Kenya who was visiting the Bay Area. And they recorded him, they loved his voice and his language, and so they recorded him for that. And after the film shoot, he kind of fell off the face of the earth. And so we had to track him down. Lucasfilm had to track him down and find out who was the original voice actor for 9-Num. And Lucasfilm scoured the earth and for The Force Awakens found him in Kenya, of all places, which is where he was from. And so we traveled over there to record 9-Num and the voice actor, who is Kipsang Rotich. And we have a little clip here from our visitor.
Oh, let's take a look. I want to see this. You want to see this? Come on.
My name is Kipsang Rotich. I'm from Baringo County in the Rift Valley. I got a surprise contract by mail telling me that I've been nominated for a voice by Lucasfilm, and I was selected to be the voice of 9-Num in the Star Wars. That was the beginning. Until now, I got that surprise that I was being wanted again to be a voice of 9-Num. My real nephew called me and he said, "Uncle, you know you're wanted in America." He told me to check on the internet. Many people impositing themselves as it is, they were 9-Num. So there are over 1,000 people who are claiming to be me. It's amazing how 9-Num has evolved in the last 30 years. He's become a very famous character. But I think that I'm going to be part of that voice to be played in Disney World. It's amazingly unbelievable. And I'm really happy to be that family of Star Wars who are bringing the whole world together and globally to unite humanity.
Yeah. I have to say that's not just a great video for Galaxy's Edge, which it is, but it's a great video to see as a Star Wars fan. I mean, what a cool story that is, and it's so nice to put a face to that familiar voice that we've been listening to since our childhood.
Right, and this is the very first time he's ever been filmed. We've heard his voice before, but that's the first time he has been recorded on film.
What an incredible level of detail to pursue for Galaxy's Edge.
Look at the fans, hello. We're fans too. So this is what you guys, I think, want us to do. So this, I mean, this is well, that's what, we'll do it in Kenya to get the guy who did it, right? Yes.
That's great. Well, we've talked about all kinds of global production in Africa and Asia and Europe, but I'm sure a lot of you want to know, and I want to know, what's going on right here in Orlando, Florida? What's production like here in Orlando?
There is a lot going on in Orlando. We've got hundreds of artisans working to bring this world to life for you guys. And I'm very privileged to get to work with a special team that Imagineering just put together. Who are building all the props and set dressing at a top secret location on the dark edges of Orlando. We've got an amazing team though, and they're all fans just like you guys. So everything we build, our hearts go into. And you guys have set the bar pretty high for us. You guys have been doing this for 40 years. You're the best at building helmets and blasters and droids. And we're trying to do it as good as you guys have done it. And in order to do that, we traveled to the UK and we've been working with the film teams. How many of you would like to visit a Star Wars film set? My crew and myself have been over there multiple times. Rogue One, Episode 8, Han Solo. We're living the dream, man. It's amazing.
Is there room in your suitcase? Maybe we can...
Yeah, come on. I mean, it's the most amazing job in the world, and we've got an incredible team of artists working on it. And in fact, some of them are in the audience tonight, so if you see any really scruffy-looking nerf herders sitting next to you, they could be my crew. But we've got people that have been shopping in India and in the UK. We've hired the shoppers from the Star Wars films to take us to the places where they actually shop. And I've been working with Lee Sandals, who's the set decorator from the Star Wars films. We want everything to be exactly right for you guys. We're being very meticulous about everything and making sure we don't miss any of the details. I mean, I've traveled hundreds of miles out into the desert of California, shopping through aircraft scrapyards, trying to find the right little greebly bit, you know, where we looked on camera and we can barely read a serial number off of a part and go, all right, well, that part came off of that airplane and we're going to take it and make it something great for you guys. And another thing I'm very privileged tonight, I get to introduce to you guys and reveal. Scott had mentioned earlier that we have a great little market where you'll be able to shop in our village. And one of the places that is going to be there is our creature stall. Everybody knows how much we love the creatures in Star Wars. They may be creepy or they may be cute and cuddly, but we love the creatures of Star Wars. So in our creature stall, you'll get to go and meet them and greet them and then maybe even take one home with you if you're lucky. But it's a place where you'll see all the creatures that you love. And right now our artists are working on a pretty cool creature that I think some of you may remember from Star Wars Rebels. Are there any Lothcat fans out there? Wow. They're so cute, aren't they?
Oh, that's awesome.
One of the things we're very lucky to get to do is we're taking these creatures, a lot of them for the first time, we're taking them from print media or from a two-dimensional animated series and turning them into real three-dimensional living, breathing characters for you guys to see.
Aww. 1, 2, 3.
So this is our Lothcat. This is a very early on. Our sculptors are working with Doug Chang, which is amazing to have Doug Chang stand there and give you direction on how to make your sculpt better and to fit into the Star Wars world.
Doug Chang, everybody.
So right now, you know, we're working on bringing all these creatures to you guys, and it's going to be amazing. You'll get to walk around and see these creatures and really get to be a part of their world for the first time.
That's incredible. It's so great that you're taking creatures from, say, animation and making them photoreal and 3D in a way that you can interact with. And all the wonderful stories all throughout the Star Wars lore that you can draw from, it seems like.
Yeah, and actually, oh, go ahead. No, I mean, this is really, we're telling one Star Wars story, right? And we're actually, we feel so honored to be part of this history and making. You know, we've seen all of these things happen in films, we've seen our favorite creatures and characters and places and locations all on the big screen. But now we have to make it believable. We have to make this a real place that you believe is a location in the Star Wars galaxy. And that is no easy feat, you know. So when we talked about where we wanted to go to, we had introduced to all of you that we're going to the planet Batuu. But the planet is a very big place. So where on the planet do we want to go? And so we would like to reveal to all of you for the very first time tonight the name of the village that we're going to be exploring in and where all of our adventures begin.
We're going to do that?
Yeah, if you give us permission, Scott, we would like to. Yes.
I think you guys might know about this place, right?
So the name of our village, the location we'll be visiting, is Black Spire Outpost.
Black Spire Outpost.
Yes.
That's really cool.
And you know, even in picking a name we go through this laborious process because we want to make sure that there's a rich history, a geography, and a story behind this land. And you know, in our story, hundreds of thousands of years ago, there was these towering tall trees that were the watchguards of the river valley near our location. And over the years, these trees eroded and petrified into these awesome rock formations. And these formations became something of a landmark for all the travelers who came into Black Spire Outpost, well, at the time, Batuu, and they decided to call this place after all these Black Spires, which that's how we came up with the Black Spire name. And there was one particular spire in the village when we do go into, there's one spire that is more unique and blacker than all the rest. And this became not only the iconic landmark of the outpost, but it really became the heart of the village.
See you at Black Spire.
Yes.
We'll meet at Black Spire. We'll see all of you at Black Spire, I'm sure, right?
Right.
I'm going to be there. That is really, really, really cool. That's amazing. And I understand we had an announcement earlier this week about when we're going to be able to experience.
Yeah, obviously there's a lot of work still happening, and and I can hear the fireworks right now, which means like it's either that or the first order's attacking. So we really better get going. But you know, yes, there's a lot of work to do. You know, and I just really love the fact that we are, you know, the stories that Margaret is telling us about how this place has a rich history and how whether it's through the geology or the geography and the storytelling that Eric is telling us how he's going to create the stories in a physical way, and what John's telling us about creating these epic, amazing Star Wars stories. It obviously takes a little bit of time to bring that to life. We are working as hard as we can, but we're going to get it right. We did make an announcement this week about to narrow in on the timing of when you'll be able to arrive at Black Spire Outpost. And I guess I can tell you that, but I actually think the way we made that announcement was with a little video that gave you a different glimpse of Black Spire Outpost. So maybe it's best to actually show through that video.
You guys want to see another video? Come on. Yeah.
I think we do. Let's roll it. Even when we talk about Black Spire Outpost, it may be new to us, but it is well known to some of our favorite Star Wars characters, right? So they have a rich history with this place. And we love telling those stories. If anybody was here at the last time we had a Galactic Nights, you may remember that we gave you all some Star Wars trading cards. Star Wars Galaxy trading cards. Anybody here get those? Yeah. Yeah. So what you might have noticed is while we introduce some of the stories, characters, and places that are going to be part of Galaxy's Edge, if you turn the cards over and if you put them together, they actually made a map of Black Spire Outpost, but the map was incomplete. Tonight, you guys are the first crowd to get the remaining Star Wars Galaxy's Edge trading cards that will allow you to complete the map, learn some additional histories and secrets behind Black Spire Outpost, and also tease some of the additional character stories and locations that are going to be part of your Star Wars story at Galaxy's Edge.
That is great. And where do we get
There's tonight, not when you leave the theater here, but when you leave the event. When you leave the park tonight, everyone will get a pack of trading cards that allow you to finish that first release of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge.
That is amazing. That is so awesome. You guys excited for Galaxy's Edge? I cannot wait. Oh, you got one more?
I got one more. Tonight, also for the first time, I have been reminded that for the first time, there's actually at Mickey's and Polly Hollywood or the Five and Dime store, there are actually Black Spire Outpost pins and lanterns available for the first time anywhere. So you guys, again, are the first ones we want to be able to share this stuff with, and we're so excited that we can take the time. And thank you for taking the time with us.
Thank you all so much. Give a round of applause to our Walt Disney Imagineers.